Hello, you're listening to Podium with Rich, Hannah and Katie in association with Morton. You can get 15% off at morton.com. Podium 2026 is the discount code. And if you are training for a marathon in the coming weeks, just the right time to get those fueling products that you need. How are we all doing? We've been having a chat off air. Katie, do you want to sort of simplify, round up your sort of headspace at the moment?
Well, I would say top line, not good. Like bad headspace. Oh, so I finally was doing the most adult thing of my life and I bought a new kitchen and I have spent the last 4 or 5 days like clearing it all out because I had the whole kitchen delivered on Friday and I live in a 3rd floor flat with no lift. So that delivery men don't clearly obviously like where I live. And I had one guy cry once when he came to deliver a washing machine when I first moved in. So I knew that was going to be a pretty stressful bit of the week. So I was really quite anxious about it. My parents came up to help and I basically became a delivery man for one day only because I was like, I will prove to you that this is doable. It's still the 3 of us and my dad helping a bit as well. It took us an hour and a half to get everything up. And my flat is pretty small. So we cleared out the entire kitchen, supposed to be ripped out today. And so there's literally no room. The only functioning room in my flat now is like half of my bathroom and my bedroom. And so the point was that it was going to go in this week and it was going to be, you can deal with this for a few days and you paid quite a lot of money to make this as simple and quick as possible. We get to Monday, guys. The kitchen fitter has not replied to any of my messages over the weekend asking what time he might be in, or I even bought him biscuits. Do you know what? That has just crossed my mind. And like really nice one, chocolate digestives. Like,
eat those biscuits, Katie. They are yours.
Biscuit. They really are. Anyway, long and short of it is that he messaged me this morning saying, "Oh, did you not know I've been taken off your job for a family emergency? You were supposed to be contacted last Tuesday." Of course, no one thought it would be useful to contact me. So I now have no functioning workspace, no functioning kitchen space, no kitchen, and no prospective timeline of when said kitchen will be coming in.
There have been requests, by the way, coming into our social media asking for updates on your kitchen. So it is important that we did this and we started here.
Well, I had a dream about it, didn't I? I had a dream that I came over to see a new kitchen and now, so my hopes are dashed and everything. I feel your frustration. It's just, and like you say, you've decided not to, you've taken days off work as well for it. It's not just,
so I've turned down income this week as well, which is similarly
freelance
frustrating.
life.
Yeah. And it's just, I know it's not a big problem considering obviously everything going on in the world, etc. But it's just a bit frustrating because I don't really quite know whether to unpack everything or.
I thought you meant like emotionally. Don't
I've done that. And I just like there is so much stuff in my living room right now. Like it's so much stuff to the point that you're like, how on earth is this going to fit in the kitchen itself? And I'm getting all my floors done as well, so there's a lot of flooring around. So
I think you get like a free pass for rage throughout this episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you are allowed to be over the top, cross or happy.
Yeah. Well, I did get quite happy about something a minute ago, didn't I? Oh, my banana, because it's the first thing I ate today.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of coffee. I've got no kitchen. Anyway, how are you two?
Well, I was thinking I was frustrated because I've got a sick toddler stuck at home, but that's just part and parcel. I signed up for it. But here I am again. But it's been a while, so it's okay.
Yeah,
she's had a good run.
Yeah, at least like a week and a half.
Yeah, and it's not coincided with World Indoors. I leave for World Indoors next week, so there is a big part of me going, phew. Like, at least I've not left a sick toddler with my parents. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
So,
and you're not sick.
Is that not? Is that people not? Is that?
Put an F on the end.
Oh yeah. Do you not put an F on the end of your few?
No. Do you, Katie?
No, I say few.
Yeah, same.
And I leave it there.
I think it's spelt like that as well, isn't it?
Wow. What do you know? Happy days of school day. I'm like, can I blame Nancy? Maybe I can blame Nancy for that.
Phew. I quite like phew.
Yeah,
sweet.
Phew. Have I totally made that up? Well, I'll try not to research on air, so I'll leave that one. And,
Yeah, my weekend was good actually. So sorry, I haven't got anything to complain about really. I had a good marathon pace run on Saturday and commentary on Saturday night of a pole vault event we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And then I went to the cinema to see Hoppers yesterday. So a family trip to the cinema, a new Pixar film.
That?
Recommend it.
Ah,
yeah,
is it good?
It's funny, yeah.
A little different
Wholesome.
to Wuthering Heights, which I'm planning to go see soon.
I think in your current state, maybe, I'm not sure. I think you should go see this one instead of Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Do you know about Wuthering Heights, Rich?
Yeah. I can't take my 6-year-old daughter to see that one.
It doesn't feel that appropriate,
It's
no.
It's not appropriate, I don't think. No.
Well, Katie can let us know.
Should we start with good news or bad news?
Oh.
Let's go good. No, okay. What do you think? Have we got a bad news sandwich?
Well, should we? I mean, it depends what sort of mood Katie's in. Do you feel like you want to get that first? Should we get into Fred Kerley?
Let's get rageful first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fred Kerley has been given a 2-year ban for whereabouts failures. We knew that he'd been provisionally suspended before that. This is for 3 missed tests in 2024. 2 before the Olympic Games and 1 in December the 6th. That's my daughter's birthday, actually. And
was he at her party? Is that where he was when he should have been?
Yeah, just couldn't turn that invite down.
Yeah.
That would be such a collab, though. Anya and Fred Kerley. Anya would shine.
What was that party? I think it was that farm. Don't think it's his vibe. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Anyway, he was found to be negligent and to a certain extent reckless. That's the phrasing in the AIU's release. So in between this, Fred Kerley won an 100-meter bronze medal in Paris. And I think that is a real bone of contention I'm going to come back to in a minute. Now, the one he admits was his fault was on the 13th of June. That's the one that was closest to the Olympics and only a month out from the Games, basically. Says the other was because of issues with the app that USADA use to I guess where Hannah, I guess where you have to put your whereabouts in, right? Where you're going to be, where you can be tested. So he says that's their fault. It's on them. Now, it's we know that he's going to be at the Enhanced Games, due to be at the Enhanced Games in May. He's always claims he's still a clean athlete, that he's not taken any performance enhancing drugs, despite the fact that he has joined the Enhanced Games. But he's come out fighting. So he's come out fighting, saying that the AIU is basically not telling the truth. He's a clean athlete. And he says, stop playing with my name. That's what he's been saying. But on the other side, the AIU have said, doping is so sophisticated now that it's like that sometimes, these drugs that it could be in someone's system are only detectable for a few days. And so it's really important that athletes get this right and the whereabouts failures don't happen. So that's the context around this story. Now, the issue is that the complicated issue is that Kerley says that he is innocent completely in terms of not just the whereabouts, but, potentially he's claiming he's never cheated in his life. But the problem is that during this time where he's missed these tests, he's won an Olympic bronze medal. I just wonder what you guys think of this. I don't think it's gone down too well.
I mean, I don't know how relevant it is that the medal comes in the middle of it. Like,
well, I mean, he's failed. He's not been tested.
But
he's rejected. He's missed.
But
scheduled tests
but
when he's achieved a massive life.
But we didn't do that with Alicia Newman. Like, do we know the dates of her missed tests? Do they span her getting a medal in Paris? Like, you got to remember, like, this penalty or this ban is for missing 3 tests. So you haven't actually committed an offence until you've missed that 3rd test. Like, we'll have a whole ton. I promise you, there'll be a whole ton of pretty elite athletes sitting on 1 or 2 missed tests at like multiple points in their career. So I don't know. It's not quite. I don't know if it's quite fair to.
We've had this debate before, though, haven't we, Hannah? I think you take a very different. Someone that's been tested.
Yeah, I have sympathy for people missing tests. It's hard. It's hard work. It's a duty you have to the sport. Yeah, you don't get a right to complain about it and say it's unreasonable, but it is tricky. So I don't think we can start. And again, it's hard because when someone fails a test, and they've had amazing performances before, and they fail a test in the months afterwards, I am suspicious then. I do say. And you can, when people miss tests, everyone forms an opinion. Were they avoiding those tests, or were they genuinely just a bit haphazard and missed and weren't when they meant to be?
The wording is so interesting, isn't it?
Yes, and that's what
to a certain extent reckless.
And
that's why you can be suspicious, I think.
That's damning.
But it depends, but because I don't think USADA would have said that without really meaning it, because they don't say that every time someone gets a whereabouts failure. They don't say stuff like that. So there's no smoke without fire. But if they actually thought he was avoiding it, then that's who was the avoided test? Why can I not remember that? I swear we were talking about last week. Someone had avoided a test, and they got a ban. Oh, it's I can see her face now.
Well, tells you.
Well, tells you, yeah. Like she avoided, she avoided a test, and so if they thought they could put an avoided test on him, they would have, but they haven't been able to.
But the other thing about reckless, I suppose I say that's quite damning. I just think the wording's very interesting, but also is that it doesn't shock me with Fred Kerley from how we've seen him act and how he talks. There's a lot of, I think, speak before you think with him, and I'm not sure how much thinking there is involved in the politest way possible in terms of sometimes what he puts out or how he responds to things. And I think reckless kind of lends itself into that personality of, is he missing them because he just sort of thinks he can get away with it and doesn't think about it enough? I
think that's a really good point. And to me, when you were talking like that reckless means to me that he did something like trying to update that app, knew it hadn't worked, and then was like, well, cool, it's not on me. It's like, well, no, it's still on you. There's a phone number, there's a text, there's email, there's other things. We've all...
I mean, that's certainly negligent, isn't it?
And that's what I mean. You can be negligent, and then it's reckless to say, I know I haven't got the correct whereabouts in, but I think I'll be able to argue it if it... That's probably, in an anti-doping context, reckless.
7 months down the line after you had that first issue with the app, of course. The
app is I don't. Again, I haven't been on that app for a while, but clunky as anything that you could. The most annoying app you've tried to pay for your parking on, or something like that. That'll be it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's that wording that is obviously causing the debate. But it's because also he's joined the enhanced games, and we're still trying to take. It's still very, very hard from a spectator's point of view to take an athlete at face value who is saying, I'm not cheating, when you join an event set up to cheat. That's really, really difficult. I mean, almost all of the most high profile athletes are saying the same thing.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing with right now, when given what his life choice is for the next few months, then and it's just like, how can you even claim to be credible if you didn't have a squeaky clean record, if you weren't absolutely adhering to it before you signed up to enhanced games? I'm just not going to believe. I don't know.
But he's not failed a test. He claims he's clean. This isn't going to be the end of it. He can appeal. He can go to Court of Arbitration for Sport. World Athletics could come back at that as well. Let's see how this plays out. But it was important to.
No, but I think if USADA or WADA do see anything else more suspicious in there, like they're investigating Ruth Chepngettich's WhatsApps and things like that, we would be hearing about that. But at the moment, it is just three missed tests. So it's hard. It's really hard because of those decisions he's made with the enhanced games, and perhaps sort of volatile statements he's been putting out around a number of things. It's easy to sort of jump on this and make it kind of a worse situation than someone else that's just had 3 missed tests.
Yeah. And it just feels like he's inflaming the whole situation, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see where this goes. Let's go to some more positive bits then, shall we? The reason why we like watching this sport so much. And at the weekend, it was the end of the qualifying period for the World Indoor Championships.
He's going to say the meet in French, isn't he? He's going to do it. It's our correspondent, Richard Newman.
Is that where we're going first?
Yes.
Richard? S'il vous plaît.
Okay. I think it's probably there are two big achievements this weekend, and I think they're probably Sondre Guttormsen and Jacob Kiplimo. So but is that fair? I think they're the two headlines from the weekend in terms of landmarks. Let's go to the pole vault first, though. So this was a Perche in Rouen in Normandy.
Oh, bravo! Superb, isn't it?
And Perche, honestly, the Perche events are. I don't know if
ignores us.
Yeah, they are. They do them so well. They are just
always pole vault only, aren't they?
Pole vault only, and they have adjacent competitions. It's always men and women at the same time, whether they are just 2 runways which are next to each other, or it's sometimes there's the X where it goes across, which I think can also delay things a little bit sometimes. But it's cool because it's got like it's loud, it's flashy, it's Saturday night entertainment, Friday night or Saturday night entertainment most of the time. And clearly the pole vaulters love it because the big names keep on coming. In terms of those who we are expecting to be at the World Indoors, the only one that wasn't really here was Mondo Duplantis. But we still had Emmanuel Caralis there, leading the way on the men's side. We'll come to him in a minute. Molly Caudery was leading the challenge on the women's side. The women's competition was, I felt like it's a funny time, isn't it, to have a competition because we're only 2 weeks away. So athletes are deciding whether to push it. They've got different reasons to be competing. Some want to maintain their form, some want to find some form, some need a qualification mark.
And I think on that women's side, we look at people that are having a really good season already, or like maybe some of the Americans, I don't know, it seemed like they didn't travel back. I know the American men did come back sort of early to Europe for this, but some of the US women, it kind of looks like they maybe did the national champs and then they're chilling out a bit. I think that did affect the women's field, but it's just like the blokes just don't seem to be able to resist to get together, do they?
No.
That was another pole vault conversation.
But I mean, if you look at the Americans that were in the men's competition, you had Casey Lightfoot, who, as things stand, isn't going to the World Indoors because he lost that jump off with Chris Nielsen after finishing joint second. I mean, that could change. Some Nielsen was meant to be there and he missed it through illness. That was the reason given. Okay. And so, I mean, Casey Lightfoot's trying to keep himself going in the hope that a spot comes up. You kind of you can't switch off at this point just in case because he's next in line. We'll go to the men in just a moment then, because on the women's side, I mean, Molly Caudery, I think just to make it secure, she kind of wanted initially the 470 because that was the qualification mark. She was going to be fine in terms of the world rankings, but she got that. She won on countback. It was quite a low quality competition in the fact that it was just off days throughout for like Tina Schutte, for example, for Marie-Julie Bonan. She went out fairly early.
Defending world
She'll be the defending champion.
She'll be, exactly. But there was just some good storylines in there as well, because Angelica Mozos had really bad year in terms of injuries. I mean, you remember she won that bronze medal with ligament damage in the end in Nanjing, which is phenomenal. She's missed this year with as partly a hamstring injury, and she had very, very heavy strapping on one of her legs on her hamstring, around her hamstring. She's going to be fine in terms of the ranking positions, it would seem.
I wonder if she'll do it then.
She was very, very clear on social media. I'm going to Rouen to get the 470. And looking at the ranking, I don't think she needed it, but there was a good example of how things can change in the road to rankings. So these are what we've talked about before. There's a sort of there's a website for World Athletics, and European Athletics do it as well for their events, where you can sort of track where everyone is in terms of qualifying for major events. And a great example of how things can change, it was in the pole vault at the weekend, because Eliza McCartney cleared 4.81 in New Zealand. She's now the top ranked Kiwi, having not been in the mix for it. And if she wants to go to the World Indoors, she's now knocked out Olivia McTaggart from the standings, who had already got the qualifying standard of 4.70, but above her is Imogen Eris. And so there was this almighty scramble almost from McTaggart to try and get above Eris. She was at Rouen, and then she competed in Loughborough yesterday. So she had to get another competition in to try and get back above Imogen Eris again. So that didn't happen. So it was interesting. That's kind of shows, like, I guess, what the kind of, on the women's side, it was very much about those kind of high stakes. And I guess that sort of led to the kind of competition that we had. On the men's side, we just had this showcase.
Before we get onto the men's, can I just say with Moser and that 470, I wonder if that's kind of like a mark in the sand for her to want to go to run.
To know she's kind of
if I can't if I can't get myself up to 470 2 weeks out, maybe I'm just going to let it go this year, because I think that bronze in Nanjing off the injury she did in preparing in warm up or the day before. I don't know, like if you've done that, you've kind of proved that you can pull out a medal in a compromised situation. Like, I don't know.
Well, she's definitely not fully fit. I mean, the fact that
and I feel like she's had a couple of comps now where she's had to be in that situation, which probably isn't fun. And she's also had a few of those kind of heartbreak type moments, hasn't she? Yeah. So it's like, do you actually put yourself through that if you can just... if you know that it's just not going to be good for your body? I think you're probably right, Hannah, with that, like testing yourself out.
I think you just peace out and get ready for Europeans because it's going to be competitive. It's going to be come to Birmingham. But like why? You're right. When she was battling it all last year. She was battling that, trying to get back to full health. I think you just say.
Whereas for Molly Caudery, I think it's just been this slow and steady accumulation of confidence building, hasn't it, leading up to this point. So I really hope she has, whatever the result, a very positive time in Turin, because I feel like she just needs this like clean competition. I don't know what you would then say the result would be, but she just needs a bit of an accumulation of good things, I think, at the moment.
She's a perfect way back in, really, because you come back and you win the British champs in a height which is, well below her best and what she can achieve. And then she's kind of done the same thing, gone on over to France and then gone and got a win, which I guess none of the women I think that entered that competition probably thought 470 would do it.
No,
but it did, and so that's massive confidence to say, I saw off everyone else, maybe. And she was quite honest in her, she was interviewed afterwards as well. Lots to work on. But that is she's just had two good feelings. She's come away with two wins.
Bounce, small amount of competitions. Yeah. And I wonder, because she said
perfect, isn't it?
British champs, it was a short approach for Caudery, wasn't it? I wonder if she was doing full approach or she's building, adding on a couple of steps every week and that sort of thing.
I think there was a sort of combination of the two, actually, because she was nearer the start. She came in very early. And I think that was just
as well.
Very
because that's
early.
what you'd have. That's probably what you do at World Champs, because you can't. It's different on the circuit. You can kind of risk it, but on a champs, you're just like, no, I've got to do every height.
Yeah. So it did actually, the competition. A lot of the men did as well. Actually, I just wonder whether it was a bit of trying to get used.
Maybe your appearance fee is linked to. Like in a marathon, like you've got to make it halfway to unlock. They're like, we need you to jump at least 6 times to the crowd.
I guess in a pulver-only event, you're like, we'd like to see a couple of you, please.
Yeah, please. Or maybe they draw lots. It's like, so I've got to come in at 4:30.
Fine, I'll take 20.
But she looked, she was a little bit closer to the end of the runway at the start, and as she sort of progressed through the competition, actually, I thought she was a bit shorter. So that is interesting. I wonder. Yeah, maybe she's playing around with a bit. Maybe it's all about
when you kind of think, that's
yourself,
you're like, okay, I need to come in at an earlier height and have the endurance for that. But today that means I've got to shorten my approach in the second half. Ooh,
after 6 months off.
I'm like really want to find her coach when I'm traveling to Poland to be like, explain this to me, because there'll be a reason.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
On the men's side, then the headline was Sondre Guttormsen, who cleared 6 meters for the first time in 3 years and for the second time ever. And then he went and cleared 6 meters 6, which was so big and such a surprise.
Can I just say, I think my theory of Kerley's like unlocking this potential, is happening. They're all just like, do you know what? 6 is kind of like not really a big deal anymore. So I might just try it.
No, for sure. Well, we said, didn't we, Rich? We were commentating on Guttormsen in Karlsruhe, and we talked about that on the podcast as well, how good he looked there. So I imagine you weren't that surprised.
I wasn't surprised that he went 6 meters, but it was quite clear that he himself was surprised with 6.6.
Yeah, you're right. That's different. Yeah.
And he didn't go on from there. He just literally was one of those.
1 second, I've just got a kitchen update. You carry on. I'll be back.
But I was going to say, to Katie's point, it's like, if 6 meters wasn't becoming a bit more normal, maybe Guttormsen would have emotionally cleared that 6 meters and go, cool. But because that's no longer kind of fireworks, he's like, all right, also rounds, I'll go on for a 6.06.
But I think if we tackling the 6 meter thing first, I mean, he would have so much confidence that he was in that club already, but after 3 years, what if that was a one-off?
Well,
surely the doubts start to creep in a little bit. So getting that was a big moment for him. The 6 meters 6, that was when he was like an excited school kid. He didn't know where to go.
Well, that would get you on every podium, wouldn't it? Like 6:06 guaranteed medal, isn't it? Like, I don't think I'm wrong there. I don't think we've had 3 medalists. I don't know if we've had 3 medalists over 6 meters. Like in a competition, they will be on season's best, but like in a competition. So that's super cool, and like breaking his own Norwegian record. And I think a lot of pole vaulters and high jumpers, and they kind of talk about going to highest heights and not quite knowing how to repeat it. And Morgan Lake was really interesting when she spoke to us, reflecting on the 2 meters earlier in the year, and sort of saying, no, I was so locked in, I know how I did it, I can reproduce it. But Guttormsen must have spent the last 3 years being like, come on, like, I know I can do it. Like,
yeah. It was not a surprise just watching his form. Like I say, he had to lock it down after that because he just couldn't go on any further. He was too excitable. You could see didn't know what to say, didn't know where to go, didn't know how to celebrate, which is also great to watch. But unfortunately for him, he still finished second. And it just shows the most ridiculous state of men's pole vaulting at the moment. 6 men have gone over 6 meters this year. The other one that won't have been talked about so much is Matvey Volkov. Belarus are not able to compete at the moment in international competition, so we haven't seen anything of him, but he is the other one that's gone over 6 meters. So that would be someone to get into the mix of talking about whenever they come back, and who knows where we're at with that. But the international landscape would suggest that we're heading back towards that way, watching the Paralympic Games at the moment, and the chat from the International Olympic Committee as well, and FIFA, and I think other sports will try and follow suit. But Kerley on the other side, he won it, and he won it in 6:06 as well. He won on countback, but he almost stole the show again because he was so close to 6 meters 20 after clearing 6:17 the week before. The first 2 attempts, the third one he looked fatigued. I think that was him done. But the first 2, it's that pike again that we've talked about, Hannah, where he's extension, the height is absolutely fine, and then he's so tight in the pike. He's coming back over again. He was just glancing with the chest, and they were almost identical. How
early did Kerley come in? Like did he come in early? Was he tired? But could he have been fresher if he'd been a bit more confident?
It wasn't that. It was quite early. He came in at 5:70.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know.
That might be a new experience for him as well, as having to learn to hold your nerve and say, maybe you are coming in at 5:80.
Past at 5:90.
5:85
But then that's the problem. So we were talking about him doing stuff like that to try and beat Mondo. But now if you've got Guttormsen on 6:06, Curtis Marshall going for 6 meters, now suddenly Kerley can't take a gamble at 5:90.
Also, can we talk about how good this might make Europeans this summer?
Oh.
Yeah. When also on Kerley, what I didn't say last week, that we didn't spot till we were off air, was that he attempted 6:31 at the Greek chat. Like, what right have you got to be trying 6:31, pal? Like, and why not try 6:25 or 6:26?
I love it.
Yeah, no, I do
why
as
not?
well.
I'm just going to send you just before we wrap up this conversation. Yeah, you're right, Katie. The Europeans are going to be incredible. That's going to be one of the highlights potentially of this year. But
do you remember?
Also, just in 2 weeks' time, the World Indoors is going to be
yes, totally. Do you remember that? I think, was it 2018? Was it in Berlin? I think it was Germany. And that was when Mondo went over 6, and that it was like that gorgeous evening, and it was the most incredible competition. And did Lavillenie win it still in the end, or was that the one where Mondo finally won gold? But he definitely went over 6 meters. I just remember it being this like magical night in my head where I was like, here he is, like the new kid is coming, he has arrived. Yeah. Anyway,
before you move on,
it's probably raining in Birmingham. But anyway,
before you move on, can I show you this picture? Look on the group chat. This is Sam Kendricks. So Kendricks, who's always sort of part of the show these days. I mean, he's obviously the man who dominated pole vault before Mondo started to reach his peak, the double world champion. He was so he's not going to the World Indoors, and he didn't do the US Indoors either, but he's on his European tour, and he's due to be at the Mondo Classic, which is coming up this week. I think it is, isn't it? It is this week, the Mondo Classic. Sure, yeah. I think it is.
Did he invite Kerley to the Mondo Classic? This would be the only year. His invite got lost in the post. Yeah.
Yeah. Kendricks had ended up having stitches because he had it. It was weird. We didn't get a replay of it, so I had to watch it. I was doing a commentary of it and then having to watch the YouTube stream back whilst I was commentating to see what had happened. But essentially, he seems to sort of slip his hands. He plants the pole in the stop box. His hands almost seem to like slip down the pole. And it was hot in there. Every time you saw, obviously, just, sausage, how the sausage is made, I wasn't there. I was at home. But looking at everyone else, everyone was sweating, as in people in the crowd and the announcer. Everyone was sweating. So it's obviously warm in there. And his hands seem to sort of slip down the pole, and then he brushes his eyebrow basically with what I think is the tape. That's wrapped around, which is obviously very, very, very rough, and it sort of just grazes him and opens up this wound. And he's like, I'm okay. And then you look at him and he's just got this blooded face and he has no idea. Looks up at the screen. It's like,
really?
Oh. Yeah, it's like, oh. And everyone's like, Curtis Marsh's over, like, what's going on, mate? Like,
looks like a monster in this picture, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, but he ended up having stitches. There's a picture of him looking like he had a good time anyway. At the end, he's got a pint of beer, nice cold pint of beer, resting it on his on the wound. So it's like
that's not medical advice. We do not endorse putting a pint of beer on a
great ice pack. Yeah.
Maybe not if you've got some sort of concussion, just like down in the pints. But he had to retire for the competition from that. He just wanted to get that sorted. It wouldn't stop. He did try another attempt and it just wouldn't stop bleeding. He was at the end of the runway with a towel, this blooded towel. He was just sort of dabbing with himself, and and after that next attempt, he was like, I don't think I can continue.
Yeah. I have blood in my eyes.
I was going to go for 6:06 as well, guys.
But
it
would have been my night. Today. Yeah, well, he'll be back for Monday Classic for sure, won't he? He'll go do that, and then
yeah. So next destination, where should we go? Should we stay on the track? Yeah, we can talk about Kiplimo. Should we do Kiplimo? Do you want to go to what do you want to do?
Maybe stay on the track makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, we'll come back
to logic to it. There was no logic
to
our
these things, isn't it?
Well, it's our British Champs team review. We just got too excited and we kind of realised there was no order to it.
Really?
We're like, we'll go back to the women's 3K after having done the men's 3K. But anyway, so let's have some logic and order to this. Let's stay on the track.
Order.
So the other big event was in Berlin, and that was on Friday night. It's one of those events that I guess it's a silver level event, isn't it, on the World Indoor Tour? But it sort of feels gold level, and it's in a huge arena in Berlin, and lots of athletes love going there and competing in front of a packed crowd. And it was a really good night for Jeremiah Azu, a new PB of 6:47 in the 60 meters, now joint third all time, level with Linford Christie and James DeSarlus, and not bad company. And it was an improvement by, I think, 200ths on his previous best. And we spoke in the British Championship reveal, team reveal.
Yeah.
But we were talking in that episode, which you can still obviously go back and listen to. We were talking about how we feel like he's really building into this.
I was going to say the same. Yeah, and that. Sorry, no, you go, Hannah.
No, I was going to say what we said on Friday was that this meet in Berlin and then the gap to World Indoors is almost identical to European Indoors to World Indoors last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if they kind of look how well 2025 went indoors and went, ooh, let's drop into Berlin and then we'll go to Rouen.
And we know that from having spoken to him before, friend of the pod, and you can go back and listen to that episode. It's quite one of our really early ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's definitely someone who I think likes the familiar and builds confidence in situations that feel very comfortable to him. So do you remember we were talking to him about going back to his old coach, weren't we, and training in Wales, and like the fact that he felt like all these things fit into his lifestyle so well. So he was so comfortable, and the birth of his forgive me, I've forgotten if was it son or daughter?
I think son. I can't remember his name. Yeah.
And there was such a joy, and I think this confidence in, like, he knew exactly who he was and what his purpose was in life, and obviously his faith is so important to him. I just had this sense, exactly what you were saying, Hannah. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but there's this kind of mirroring in a way that I just think matches last year, and he just feels like he's very quietly confident. I also think he doesn't mind being a little bit under the radar as well. And I think that suits him. And I've got a really positive feeling about this. And also it's just really quick times. Like that's the other thing is...
I think it's not just... until this 6:47, we're just like, oh, he looks great. Same as Dina Asher-Smith. You're like, looks great, winning everything. And then hello.
But like world-class times, where we're like, you know what, that can't be sniffed at. And every time that question comes up, we're like, oh, you know, do we take the 60 meters seriously enough? And do other people care? And why aren't the Americans sending like a big field of names? But actually, that's great. Like it's really great. Like that's a really solid time.
It's brilliant. It's gonna be good.
You could have disguised a little bit better there, Katie, that you haven't listened to the British team.
I was thinking that, but
don't worry,
can we just remind ourselves that on Friday I was being not only a delivery man, but I was looking after my parents. I was going through major anxiety attacks about my entire life falling apart, which it has now in fact done. And I feel a lot better now that it's happened. Also, the kitchen update in the middle of this podcast was nothing. It was my mum saying that there's been no update. So Sue is kind of acting as like secondary Katie today.
I feel like give me the number, I'll yell at them.
Yeah, my mum is a better phone rager than I am. So she's kind of coming in as my like, you know, my
you're heavy.
Yeah, exactly. I do you know what I am? I've got the episode downloaded, Rich. So I promise I am going to listen. It's just been a lot this weekend.
Just before we do our World Indoor preview next week, just so we don't go over the same things over and over. Exactly. It might be a good idea, that bit. But that was one of a few really impressive performances in Berlin. Jacob Kiplimo with a new world, equaling the world lead of 7:37, and he's just about to head to his home championships.
Yeah, and he was saying last year, he was like, I'm the one that's going to beat Grant Holloway, didn't quite get it done in Nanjing. Yeah, so I feel, and he's better than he was sort of this time last year. So I feel very good about Szymanski in front of a home crowd. Yeah, I want that to happen. Yeah. I'm like, I just want that to happen. It's going to be great. Yep. I think, I like a home favourite.
Who are the other big? I know. Sorry, this is probably for next episode. But who are the other big Polish hopefuls that we think would be gold medal contenders? You've got Pia.
But she's been struggling a bit the last. Szyszkowska. She's been struggling a bit the last 2 weeks. But that almost makes me more hopeful because she was in such good shape 2 weeks ago. I'm I'm actually happy with a bit of half a step back from her, and then she could come back strong for the champs. Outside of that,
Eva Svoboda's not really featuring in terms of well, you never know what could happen though in a race, right? I mean, but we haven't seen the best from her for a little while.
Natalia Bukowiecka is race sparingly, but looked very good. I think, I think she could be good. There's one of the Polish 800-meter men is doing well. Maciej Widerka, I think he's been sort of top 3 in a lot of world indoor tours. I could be making that up.
No, you're not. Maciej Widerka is 4th on the year list. So that's he's one. So is
and the 4x4s.
Ostrowski.
Oh, of course, yeah.
4x4s. They could smash the 4x4s. Ostrowski, what? Yeah, were you going to say? Is he doing well as well?
Yeah, he is 7th.
Nice. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I remember it's a time trial. Essentially,
the 400, no, that will be. I think we would. That's why it's naff again. We're getting into preview territory, but we're going to end up with Bukowiecka in one heat and Klaver in another heat with the new World Athletics rules. And I'm like,
reverse, get out. Get out. Let's talk about something else.
That's for next week.
Jessica Schilder with a new, new world lead, bettering her previous world lead, 20 meters 69. Also equaled national records.
Do you know my daughter has I got her a soft toy from Appledorn, and we call it Jessica Schilder.
Do you?
Yeah.
Stop it.
And she's like, Jessica.
That's so cute.
So I need to. Nancy's not quite old enough yet to appreciate that. Well, I am trying to get her into watching watching athletics on the telly, and it's going to be good. When it all comes together and she realises, it's going to be great.
That's so cute.
Sure, if she can go and win the world indoor title, that's the sort of back end of last year that she had. That would be quite a nice story.
Yeah, it would.
I think as well. Do you remember, like in the Diamond League final before Tokyo, she had that taken away from her?
Yeah.
Well,
didn't she get it back? Didn't she appeal and then get it back?
Did she?
Yeah, I thought she was the one that appealed and kind of said it shouldn't have been a foul.
Wasn't that like earlier in the season?
Maybe, but you're right. But yeah, we'll get back to you for the preview on that.
Back to the preview, yeah. And on top of that, we have confirmation from Molly Caudery that she won't be competing in Berlin, and some of the events we've seen recently, maybe not quite in sort of her like top level shape either. So Mahambo's going to instead focus fully on the European Championships this summer.
Because she heard Birmingham's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, I won't stop.
I almost thought about telling you to.
No, you can try.
Can we mute her, Rich?
I don't think so. Yeah, I can actually.
Are you the master muter?
I think I might be. So just confirmation that the qualifying period is ended. The world rankings are all fully finalized. I think it's on Wednesday this week. And that's when we'll get final confirmations of teams. We don't have an announcement yet, for example, from the USA about who they're sending. But by the time we get to the next preview, we'll be
the next preview.
This isn't a preview. This is a roundup.
Yes, yeah. Sorry.
I don't know why you're confused. It's clearly a roundup, not a preview.
Hannah actually loves previewing literally anything, don't you?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
More than you like hot takes.
You prefer that to results, don't you?
Yeah. I like the speculation. I like the anticipation. Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's just I need some joy in my life. This is great. I love it.
Well, let's do a preview.
Maybe we could preview my kitchen.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to go well?
Yeah, it's going to go fantastic.
Anyway, this isn't about me. Sorry, guys.
It's about your kitchen.
Right, sorry,
right, Jacob Kiplimo has the world record back. He did it in Lisbon, 57 minutes, 20 seconds. It's better than Yomif Kecalci's mark by 11 seconds. And of course, we found out, was it a month or two ago, that his Barcelona half, which was insane, the first sub 57,
wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't going to be ratified because he was too close to the lead car on too many occasions. And I'm sure that must have been a real, I must have ignited the fire.
And are we going to get? So I did talk about it in this side of Christmas. Kecalci's sort of backhand comments about, well, I could break 57 if you put me behind a car and all this. But now Kecalci's lost that world record. Like, he can't argue now. He can't say I should be the world record holder. You're not. It's gone. So I'm just fast forwarding to London Marathon.
Yeah, me too.
Being like, and these two are going to be like opposite sides of the start line, like not talking to each other. And it's going to be that whole people pass the water around. They're going to be like, not to you. I'd love it if there was a bit of beef going into London.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
think we've talked about this before.
Can you stir it in the press? You're going to a press conference, aren't you, Rich? Can you just?
Because also your team Kecalci, so you should you go Kecalci, we'll go.
Katie's like, I'm now right. Kecalci isn't a world record.
Come on, impress me, please.
Not necessarily over Kiplimo though. I really want Kiplimo to be
so
big success over.
It's a clash of your two favourites. It's really hard for you.
I've got plenty of favourites. Too many favourites. That's not a good race. Just want the sport to win.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's a real winner sport.
Road running. Road running is a real winner.
We were talking about whether there could be beef last year on the women's race because it was Asefra against Hassan, and again that was the first time since the Paris Olympics.
Yeah.
And it didn't really materialise into anything. Kind of wanted them to have a bit because they were elbows out, weren't they?
Well, and in theory, you've
Paris.
got a whole road. You shouldn't be elbowing each other, but maybe the Olympics is the exception.
Yeah, it really bastard for it. It's great, but we didn't get to see that. So hopefully, maybe Kecalci and if Kecalci and Kiplimo want to go at it in their words before instead, then we'll take that. So Kiplimo is going to be the world record holder again. This time, I think this one will be ratified. It doesn't seem to be anything.
It's only going to take 4 months to ratify it now, not
the whole year.
It's a long time, doesn't it?
I know you haven't done it.
Well, we didn't talk about the age group records getting taken away from some of the Ethiopians. They've totally changed. All the Ethiopians I think they've considered are now well into the senior ranks anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter in live athletics, but they've sort of been wiped some of the age group records. So yeah, but that explains why they took so long to get ratified, maybe.
Yeah. US Half Marathon Championships, we got an update, a couple of updates throughout last week about what's going on there.
Still WhatsApping each other days later, like trying to reread that message.
I've read Rule 2.4.9C, and that says...
It is interesting, though, because basically the situation at the moment is that since we last spoke, those three that were diverted off course have now got prize money, so they don't have which is good. But and then the US Federation have then gone to World Athletics and basically made a proposal, which we don't know what it is. It's called an emergency request, but they're not allowed to say what it is because the World Athletics Council have to vote on it. And so that is not going to be revealed until next week about whether that's been a success or a failure.
That's about like going against your policy. Like if they've written a policy and they put it out there and they're going to go against it, they want support from World Athletics. Yeah, they almost want World Athletics to say, we've gone through this with a fine-tooth comb. We think it is appropriate in this case to change your selection policy. Because, I don't know, that is a mark of kind of assurance for the athletes. Well, just stops it being a precedent that you can just change your policy after the race.
Or that an athlete could suggest that there was something out of their control that took the race win away from them, and then all of that. Yeah.
Because reminder, it was doubled up as trials for the World Roads in Copenhagen, and that still needs to be figured out. So this is kind of where they're looking at trying to find this emergency request.
And did you see in some of their subsequent statements since we spoke and said we felt it lacked a bit of compassion, a kind of like a acknowledgement of how the athletes might be feeling, and it does feel like they've been trying to engage with that side of things. I thought anyway, a little bit more in their language, and there's a little bit more acknowledgement that this was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, and what we didn't touch on last week, which we kind of saved for this week, was the fact that Britain have got their trials for the World Road Running Championships. They take place in Copenhagen in September, and we've got the Bath Half this weekend, and that will act as a trial through to that World Road Running Championships. And when you're talking to the marathon guys, I think that Road Running Champs is quite attractive to a lot of the Brits that we've got doing well at the moment. The field for London Marathon in terms of Brits is stacked, and a lot of them almost looking at that timeline saying, I could go to Copenhagen. And also when you look at those autumn marathon opportunities, Copenhagen's really well set up for that. Like I think it'll be a really good road running champs, and so it does add a bit of intrigue to the Bath Half this weekend. That's on Sunday, isn't it? And I think that will be interesting.
Yeah, I agree, and it sort of depends on. I mean, you kind of where it's situated. You can't do Berlin, for example, the Berlin Marathon. So you have to start thinking about whether you want to use that as well to go on to. Well, it's quite close to Chicago, so it's only 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. You think it's a bit close?
But New York and Valencia, it's kind of absolutely fine. I think you can stay in your plan.
Yeah, a lot of our Brits do love to do Valencia.
Someone should set up like a year-round road running kind of series, maybe.
It's a great idea.
Maybe it could be called like the Newman Classic. Just a thought.
That's a great name. I mean, yeah, sure. And on this side,
joke, if you don't get it, listen back to every single episode because we do talk about it a lot.
Rich presented as a what would you change in athletics? Rich presented a wild road running league that involved 16 marathons in 12 weeks. And we love to tease them about it.
Yeah, no one's signed up yet.
That's not quite what it was, to be fair.
Who did sign up to it? Who was the woman that signed up for London and Tokyo? She did sign up for it. I can't remember
off the top of my head. But the whole point was you put some 10Ks and 5Ks and half marathons in there as well. So just saying. On the men's side, on the elite entry list, you just go through some of the contenders. We'll look back at it next week. But Jake Smith is the defending champion, and he's someone that I'd love to get a British vest. Ben Connor, Joe Wigfield, Phil Sessman is in there. And we got an interview coming out soon with Phil Sessman, where he's sort of not necessarily saying that he wouldn't want to do. He's already in the European Championship marathon squad, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't want to do the Road World. So it's interesting to see. But he's in a block at the moment, big block for London, as many of these are. Alfie Manthorpe's in there too, and on the women's side, Jessica Warner-Judd has the quickest time by some distance actually, in terms of the elite women, by 2 minutes. Again, someone that we'll be speaking to in the coming weeks ahead of London Marathon. Abby Donnelly, Lily Partridge, Alex Bell, who's just getting better and better.
We don't know what her limit is, do we?
No idea.
I think that's, again, especially when a lot of those other women are going to be focusing on London. If Alex Bell, for the moment, her longest is a half, she could be someone that would just go, I'll just go as fast as I can for as long as I can.
Yeah.
because I'm not on tired legs. I'm not worried about the hangover of this. Yeah, it could be cool.
And someone as well who stepped away from the track, not wanting to chase selections anymore. But what if you were just, if it's a byproduct, is that okay?
I think I'd love it if she made that squad for Copenhagen and then kind of stepped down to 10Ks for a little bit. And then you're looking at European Cup. I don't want to say Commonwealth Games. I don't think, again, like you say, she stepped away from that space, putting that pressure on herself. That's what it seems like. But I think we'd hear a lot. If Alex did make a British team, I think we'd then hear a lot more about like her headspace and sort of, chasing those international spots.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about UK British teams. We've also had confirmation in the last week that the reason why there was no team sent to the European Throwing Cup in Cyprus is because of the ongoing security risk in the region. Of course, there is a British base there that has been targeted and is being used by the US as well as a base to continue the conflict. So not going. That's not what this podcast is about. So we don't necessarily need to talk about what's going on there. Like you said, there are some pretty awful things going on in the world right now. But it is good to get that confirmation as to why there is no British representation. And it's just about looking after the athletes. Essentially, at the end of the day, it's not worth the risk.
No, definitely not.
Completely get why they're doing that. Okay, before we finish. The LA Marathon. Have you seen this? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone a bit viral. The men's, again. It's the men's race that's ended up providing the drama in terms of another sprint finish. And this is, I mean, it wasn't the quickest time, 2:11:18, but a huge comeback from Nathan Martin to beat Michael Kamau. I think that's how you say his name, maybe, of Kenya. And it's a long way back. I mean, surely you guys have seen the video.
You go and have a look if you haven't. It's so good.
Oh, and poor Kamau, he just looks so tired. You know, when you're just like,
he is running through treacle at that point, isn't he? And do we think he's aware at all of the charge behind? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Is he completely gone? Like the legs are just still moving, but no one's really home. I mean, it kind of looked that way. I was
going to do another office quote. Am I allowed to another office quote? Oh, no, it's Gavin and Stacey.
Which one?
The lights are on, but everyone's gone out. No? All right.
Is that for Gavin and Stacey?
I thought it was. Yeah, lights are on, but everyone's gone out. Or was it the other? Yeah, don't know.
Silence.
Anyway, well.
But he was stretchered off from the course, so he collapsed after being dipped. He missed the dip on the line, but can you believe it? He was also sent the wrong way briefly. Like a week after what happened in Atlanta, there's like it's like a fence, and he goes off to the right, and he has to be told you've gone to, this is right near the end, and he's had to sort of stop, come back, break his stride, get back onto the course again. And that is the sort of thing that might have been really damaging for him.
And you know, when you see like when someone's miscounted the laps and like the bell, you know, they think they're finishing and then they hear the bell and you can see it all, can't you? The physical fatigue coupled with the mental panic. Like that is just rough. I think that explains why
and
he looks like so awful.
So incredible, that difference between that person who's like, oh my God, I have 400 meters more or whatever it is. It just feels so completely impossible, to the chaser who feels like the lightest being on earth. Springing along. Like, it fascinates me how the body and the mind coincide at that point.
And that's why athletes say it's 80% mental.
Crazy. Yeah, what a finish. I mean, it sort of caps off another crazy... I'm saying year. I know a lot of the ones we talked about were calendar year last year. But sort of, we can do rolling 12 months, But it goes back to that debate we were trying to have the other day with absolutely zero conclusion or knowledge on why this is happening.
We're gonna just scientific. We can't really do
because that one doesn't even feed into our theory of it being around that like sort of 2:03.
Yeah, if it was 2:03, we'd be like, that's what's going on again. But no. Keep working theories on why men's marathon is so mad right now.
The biggest marathon of the weekend was the Nagoya Women's Marathon. That was won by Sheila Chepkirui in 2:21:54. Really bad conditions as well, wet and windy.
So
cold.
I feel like whatever the next world marathon major she pops up in, you're going to cite. But she ran 2:21:54 in cold. Yeah, I mean that's why you come out with these picks in these major marathons, because
he does his research.
He does his research.
She could do it on a wet and windy cold.
Yeah, she did it in the wet and windy.
Yeah.
Just put her in Valencia. Get her in Valencia now.
No, send her to Stoke. She can probably go and do that on a Tuesday night. But talking about conditions, what do you guys think of the fact that in LA, because it was hot, I mean, it is LA, but because it was hot, they allowed, if they wanted to, of the mass race, if they wanted to finish at 18 miles, they could do, and they would get a finisher's medal.
Oh, no.
That's a big no, isn't it? Because it was hot. There's basically an earlier point that you can get off the course and get to the finish line.
And you would get a medal saying you completed a marathon.
You get a finisher's medal.
But does it say marathon or does it just say finish?
It's a late,
They didn't make some extra medals.
I
did
don't
they
know
not
whether
just shave a bit off the side?
Just cut it in half.
Cut a quarter off. If they did that, then that's
no, I don't like that because the entire point is it's such an extreme test of everything. You've chosen where you're doing it. You know what the conditions. Well, you kind of have a rough idea. And I mean, London was boiling last year, wasn't it? Everyone's still.
I mean, it was like London.
Okay, but my brother said it was very hot when he ran.
It was like 24.
Okay, fine. Tokyo was bloody disgusting, wasn't it?
Well, had they awarded the medals at 18 miles in Tokyo, we would have had a totally different story.
Well, that is a very good point.
But then I think as an organiser, when you're aware that the conditions are really not conducive to running the full distance, do you have a responsibility to offer a good alternative that people are actually going to take?
I don't mind a shorter
distance.
Yeah.
Just to confirm the temperature. So would you? Yeah,
22.
No, you're not far off. It was about 24 to 26.
Oh no! Then you just issue a load of warnings, say slow down, be careful. Here's some extra water.
Drink.
Says a woman that's never done a marathon.
Also, if you're going to sign up for a marathon in LA, that's always going to be a possibility.
Yeah. You're telling me none of your training runs were in that.
I mean, I don't
you all
mind.
got up super early.
I don't mind to get to 18k. What was it? 18k?
18 miles.
18 miles. Yeah. Yes, that makes a lot more sense. But you can't. I just don't think you can say you finished it.
No, it's poor, isn't it? I don't know how many people took the choice.
But then also, if you have created a load of 2026 LA Marathon medals, they're going to go to waste. You might as well hand them out.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be impressed.
Done a few fun runs in her time.
Yeah, I've never done an 18 miles, so that is still mega impressive to anyone who did it. But I don't know, surely by that point, you're just like, got to see it through.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's the game's gone. Just before,
Rich is fuming.
Well, they say the race doesn't start till 20 miles.
Exactly.
Have you ever got there? Sorry, that was brutal. Love you.
Not the last one, though.
Where is 20 miles on the London course? Can we get?
We need to stand there, don't we?
I think it's actually a pretty grim place. I think it's around because I've gone and supported there before as well. I think it's not far off through like the Canary Wharf.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, because I went and watched my brother there last year, and there's also no toilets. We found out
there's no one there. There's nothing else.
It's just
there,
a like
so
long
make
road
out.
of corner shops. Yeah.
And you just hear like the claps echoing on the skyscrapers, can't you? Makes it sound there's a few more people there, but there's not. Yeah.
It's a good place. It's actually a really good. If you're thinking about supporting someone on the London Marathon course, it is actually a really good place to go because they will see you.
Yeah, and you're right on the road.
And they will need you.
Yeah.
So I was about to say but you'll only see them once, but it shouldn't really be about you. It should be about the athlete, and they will need you. They will need you there.
It's like always push back at the family that go, I'll see you near the finish, or I'll see you near the start. Like I'm not going to see you at all in either of those situations.
Yeah, it works for you. You'll have
I don't need you there
and a stroll, but I need you. Can you help me in Canary Wharf when it's cold? And
before we go, congratulations to Femke Bol and Ben Broders. A very cool way of announcing that they're married. It happened 2 weeks ago, but on 21st of February. But they've only just put it on social media, which in the current sort of world that we're living in, where everyone lives everything on social media, to not actually tell anyone till fortnight later is I think that's quite cool.
Also, she wore black, which I love.
Did she?
Wait, hang on, let me just double check. Or it was like a dark.
Or was it a black and white photo, mate?
No. Hang on, I need to find her. Why is she not?
But I liked it.
Yeah, once you do that, I think we might have to get used to calling her Ben.
Why is she not coming up on my Instagram?
Femke Broders Bol, because that's what she's changed her name.
Maybe that's why you can't find her on Instagram.
Is that why I can't find her? What is her name?
Maybe Broders Bol.
I think she did. Now I'm starting to doubt myself that I've completely made that up.
But I literally can't find her at all. Oh my God, where is she?
Where's she gone? She disappeared. She was.
No, she is. Oh, yeah, she has. That's so weird. It wasn't coming out. I wonder if it's like going through a little gear change.
It's like do your soft launch your wedding and then quit.
Wait,
Instagram.
she hasn't.
Oh
no, the picture is in black and white. No, it's not. No, that is definitely. That's at least a dark
you're
blue.
Right, you're right.
But I just really thought that was pretty cool. And it looks so low key, and
I love it. Yeah.
I wonder whether they're having a big bash later.
Maybe after the
season.
Yeah.
Because that was like a civil ceremony. I think they were saying that.
That'd be cool. Because like finding a time when all your mates can come and join you, if a lot of your mates are athletes, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. I'm gutted we weren't invited. Love a wedding.
Yes, we might get to the party.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I love you. Need anyone to commentate on your party? And if it's in somewhere that's really hard to pronounce, Rich can tell everyone.
What do we bring, Hannah?
I don't know.
I drink well, so
yeah. I drink
actually, you do too.
Any other business before we go?
Yes, I have.
I've heard. Well, no, I've raged, so I will now hand the platform over to you two because I've heard there's some rage to come.
Oh no, mine's not rage.
Oh, yours isn't rage.
Massive excitement.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought any other business had to be like angry.
Oh, does it? Oh, I don't know. So I'm like,
no, go on.
No, this is like pure excitement. What we missed last week was Božidar Saraboyakov winning the high jump at his national champs in 2:28. This is the number one long jumper in the world this year, won the high jump, and he's now ranked 11th in the high jump, and he can go to World Indoors in 2 events. Which
did he do the triple as well?
He did. He won the triple at his national champs, but he's ranked like 20th when he needs to be 12th. But this guy did multiple events as a junior, not multi-events, multiple events. So he's qualified for 2 totally separate events. You think about the biomechanics of those two. We have seen crossovers with Javon Harrison, Mattia Filani, but Saraboyakov doing it this month. And then in the same vein, Cordell Tinch, the world champion in the hurdles in Tokyo, jumped 8:29 at the US National Championships. He's ranked 5th in the long jump, and he's going to go. He said he's going to do it. And it's just like, you're the world champion in the hurdles. What are you doing in the long jump? And I love it. I think it's just that. Yeah, Cordell Tinch has spoken about like battles with mental health and just finding his way in the sport that's sustainable and enjoyable for him. And I just love the idea that you could go to a world champs in a totally second event. And this is so different from going an 800 or a 400 or a 100 or a 200. Like it's just Christian Taylor spoke about it so well. That was one of our first interviews. I think it was our first interview, full stop. When he spent time running the 400, just that freedom to go and experiment in a different event. So I'm so excited. I'm probably more excited by Cordell Tinch in that long jump because I'm not sure Saraboyakov. I don't know. They're both interesting, but yeah, Tinch coming into long jump is pretty cool.
Yeah.
A reminder that you can go back and listen to any of these interviews. If you're new to the podcast, you missed quite a lot actually. But the whole point of the interviews that we had, I mean, there is some stuff in there which is a little bit focused
particularly with Christian Taylor, I think, because
that's timeless. Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are timeless. We try and make them as timeless as possible. And if there's a little bit of section about talking about Tokyo or something, we try not to linger on that for too long, do we? So we actually get a bigger picture. Definitely go back and listen to some huge interviews that we've had. Mine isn't that serious at all. But in terms of actual sporting,
had all the rage
picking
today.
a point,
it's fine.
I can go again if you need.
One of my biggest bugbears in this sport, and again comes back to social media again, is the habit that started to emerge last year of black and white pictures to show that your season is over, which is usually used for like a death. But it's always it became a thing in the summer where if they didn't get to Tokyo, or it was always like a picture, the first on like a cascade of photos. Open first picture
with
black
a heartbreaking
and white.
emoji.
Season over. Thanks to all my sponsors. Blah 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 blah. And I've seen it. It started to come back. It's coming back now. My indoor season is over. It's got to stop.
Okay.
It has got to stop. Honestly, it's so bad.
Why does it wind you up?
Really annoying. It's really annoying. It's a completely the wrong context to use a black and white photo, but everyone was doing the same thing. I find
it's
it
like
really
when my mum
annoying.
texts me saying, "Call me, full stop," and I'm like, "Oh my God, who has died?" And then you ring, and she's like, "Oh, just fancy to catch up." I'm like, "Right, you have to put an X on the end if there's no emergency, just so I know I don't have to ring you."
So my dad didn't quite get the difference between LOL, like laugh out loud, or lots of love.
No.
And it was like something sad, and you put LOL. And you're like, can't laugh at them, Dad. It's like,
that is not that funny.
Yeah.
There's great stuff that goes on in WhatsApp chats from people of a certain generation. It's brilliant stuff, and not want to alienate any listeners.
But have you just aged yourself by complaining about the black and white photo trend? That's obviously a thing, and
it's annoying.
I think you just aged yourself there.
Phew.
Let's leave it there.
Okay, bye.